Hello students, myself Anuradha Wagh from BYK College welcomes all of you in online lecture series arranged by Gokhale Education Society. Students, today we are going to learn a fourth chapter of OCM subject, that is business services. This chapter is very easy and it is based on some general knowledge and some basic concept. Students, in the last year, you have been study about the economic activities. In that, you learn about the business and profession. Yes, you know about the business that is deal with the production and distribution of goods and services for earning profit. Whereas profession, profession is provide the service to the society by using his knowledge or educational qualification. So students, you know about the services. So same scenario we are applicable over here. Some business units provide the services to the society. So what is exactly mean by the services? Services are intangible in nature, neither manufactures nor transport or stock. Service cannot be stored for the future use, hence they are produced and consumed simultaneously. Sometimes services are difficult to identify because they are closely associated with goods. No transfer of possession or ownership take place when the services are sold, and they cannot be stored or transferred. Service are instantly perishable and they come into the existence at the time they are brought and consumed. Let us see the definition given by Phillips Kotler. A service is an act of performance that one party can offer to another that is essentially intangible and does not result in the ownership of anything. Its production may or may not tie to a physical product. Second definition is given by American Marketing Association. Activities, benefits or satisfactions which are offered for sale or provided in connection with the sale of goods. So from above definition, we can say that business services are those services which help in successful running of business. Business services are provided to customers supporting their needs, sometimes through the support for business or directly supporting the business or product delivered to the end of the customers. Now here are some example of business services. For example, banking services, insurance services, transport services, warehousing services, and communication services. Business cannot be imagined in the absence of these services. With the growth in the business, the need and importance of these services are increasingly. Let us see the features of services. First one is the intangibility. Service cannot be seen, touched, and smelled as they are intangible. They cannot be felt. Like the building of bank is visible, but the banking service cannot be seen, yet people can take the benefit of the bank. Next one is a heterogeneous. Service lack of the homogeneity, like the behavior of bank employees. Whatever the service they provide, it cannot be good towards one customer, it can be harsh towards the other customer. So it is essential that the service provided by the person or of the organizations are homogeneous. Next one is a non-stocking. Services cannot be stock. Now here the example is that nowadays lockdown period is going on and many companies, many firms was closed. Hence, the employees cannot provide their services, so that it is not possible to stock their services which they can give on that particular days, and cannot give the extra or double works after the lockdown period. Hence, it is said that demand and supply of services go hand in hand. Neither it is not possible to stock their services, and it is possible that the supply of services is more than its demand, not be stored. In other words, services are perishables. Next one is a non-transferable. Business services are of non-transferable nature. Thus, unlike the products, there is no exchange of ownership in services. For example, patient visit the doctor. He takes treatment by paying a fees. The patient cannot purchase the ownership of service by paying the fees. If he again falls ill, again he has to visit the doctor. So he cannot purchase the ownership of the doctor. Now next one is the customer's participation. To avail the benefit of service, the participation of customers is very important. That is, transport company is ready to take you on the tour, but uh, bus are ready and waiting for the passenger, but there is no passenger, no customers wish to avail these services, wish to, they are not going to take a no, travel. He has to travel in a bus without the participation of customers, so it is possible to avail the benefit to the service. Now let us see the first services, that is banking services. Students, as you know, bank is an institutions which deal with money and credit. It accepts the deposit from the public and grant the loan and advances to those who are in need of funds for various purposes. Bank encourage saving habits amongst the individuals and thereby make funds available for their use as and when required. Bank also helps the nation's development by providing the credit to the farmer, small scale industry and self-employed person. Now let us see the definition which is given by the Indian Banking Regulation Act 1949. Banking company means any company which transact the business of banking in India, and word banking has been defined as accepting for the purpose of lending or investment of deposits of money from the public, repayable on demand or otherwise, and withdrawable by check, draft, and order or otherwise. So, from above definition, we can say that a bank is one who undertakes banking activities. Banking is an activity which involves accepting of deposits for the purpose of lending and investing. Banking activities are considered to be a lifeblood of nation's economy. Without banking service, trading and business activities cannot be carried smoothly. Now, let us see the types of bank. There are the various types of bank such as central bank, commercial bank, cooperative bank, development bank, exchange bank, regional rural bank, saving bank, investment bank and specialized bank. Now let us see first central bank. As you know, central bank is very important bank of the country. Central bank is a fixed bank in a banking structure of India. In India, Reserve Bank of India is the central bank. It plays an important role in the country's monetary and banking system. The main function of central bank is to bring the economic development, to issue the currencies, to control over the banks, work as a banker's bank, work as a bank of government. The central bank also provide the guidelines to other banks whenever they face any problems. That's why it is known as bankers bank. In India, Reserve Bank of India, in England, Bank of England, and in America, the Federal Reserve Bank. These are the central bank. Next one is commercial bank. This bank accept the deposit from general people and provide short-term loan to traders, manufacturers and businessmen by way of cash credit, overdraft, etc. Commercial bank also provide the various facilities, various services like collecting deposits, bill of exchange, remitting money from one place to another place. Nowadays, some commercial bank also provide the housing loan on the long term basis to individual. The primary functions of commercial bank is accepting the deposit and lending of money, and secondary functions agency functions and utility functions. In India, commercial banks are divided into three groups: public public sector bank, private sector bank, and foreign bank. Public sector bank are these banks where majority of share capital held by government or Reserve Bank of India, State Bank of India, Corporation Bank, Bank of Baroda, Bank of Maharashtra, Dena Bank. These are the example of public sector bank. Private sector bank are those bank the majority of share capital is held by private individual. These banks are registered under as a company with limited liability. HDFC Bank, Axis Bank are the example of private sector bank. Foreign bank. These banks are registered and have their headquarters in foreign country, but they operate their branches in our country. Foreign bank operating in our country have increased since the financial reform of 1991. The example of foreign bank is HSBC Bank, Citibank, Standard Chartered Bank. Next one is a development bank. Business often require the medium and long term capital for purchase of machinery, equipments, and for the latest technology or for the expansion or the modernizations. Such financial assistance is provided by development bank. They also undertakes other development measures like subscribing to shares and debentures issued by companies in case under subscription of issue by public. The example of development bank is Industrial Finance Corporation of India and State Financial Corporation. Next one is cooperative bank. Cooperative bank are financial institutions registered under the Cooperative Societies Act. The main objective of such bank is to give the credit to economically backward people. In India, cooperative bank are the main source of rural credit. This bank encourage the saving habits amongst the villagers and give the loans at the low rate of interest. There are three types of cooperative bank. First one is a primary credit society, district central cooperative society, and state cooperative banks. Primary credit society, these are formed at village or town level with the borrowers and non-borrowers members. District Central Cooperative Bank, this bank operates at district level and having the primary credit society belonging to the same district as their members, and the functions as link between the primary credit societies and state credit cooperative society. State cooperative banks. These banks are affixed cooperative banks in all the states of country. They mobilize funds and helps in a proper channelization amongst various sectors. The money reaches the individual borrowers from the state cooperative banks through the central cooperative banks and the primary credit society. Now next one is the investment bank. Investment banks provide the financial and advice given to the assistants to their customers. They give the financial advice to their customers. Their clients generally includes the business firms and government organizations. Investment bank facilitate the mergers and acquisitions by undertaking research and provide the advice on the investment decision. Next one is a regional rural bank. Regional rural bank were established in 1975. These banks are sponsored by large public sector bank. The capital of regional rural bank is contributed by central government 50%, state government 15% and sponsor bank 35%. In this bank, the features of commercial and cooperative banks are found. The main function of These banks are to provide the loan to small traders, small farmers, and for the development of agriculture activity. Now next one is the exchange bank. Exchange banks are mainly concerned with the financial foreign trade. Main function of exchange bank are remitting money from one country to another country, discounting of bill of exchange, helping import and export trade, issue letter of credit, etc. Next one is saving bank. This bank accept the small saving from people who have the fixed income. It creates the saving habits among the people. In India, Post Office Saving Bank is one of the saving bank. Commercial bank and cooperative bank also plays an important role of saving bank. Now last type is a specialized bank. Specialized bank, as the name suggests, they are the some bank which scatter the requirements and provide the overall support for setting up the business in specific area. For example, Small Industrial Development Bank of India, National Bank of Agriculture and Rural Development, and Exim Bank, that is Export and Import Bank. First, Small Industrial Development Bank of India, SIDBI, to establish small scale business unit or industries. Loan on easy terms can be available through the SDBI. It is also finance mobilizations and modernizations of the small scale industry units, use of new technology. The main aim of this bank is to promote and finance and develop the small scale industries. Now next one is a NABARD, National Bank for Agriculture and Rural Development. It is affects institutions for financing agriculture and rural sectors. For people engaged in agriculture or other activities like handloom weaving, fishing, etc. NABARD can provide the credit both short term and long term through the regional rural bank. Now, last one is the Export and Import Bank, that is known as the Exim Bank, for setting up business for exporting products and for the importing products from foreign countries for sale in our country. Exim Bank can provide the main role or important role for providing or supporting the financial assistance. The bank grant loan to exporters and importers and also provide the international markets information to the exporters and importers. In next lecture we will see the functions of commercial banks. Till then, stay at home, stay safe. Thank you.